How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little bit of Pilsner time. A little bit of Spain-born Pilsner time. Don't get a lot of Spanish beers over here in the States, so I'm super excited to give it a whirl in the form of Napar beer. It's their Napar, Pilsner. So it's Napar beer out of, let's see, it's a Navarro, Spain. Never had a beer from there. So yeah, let's see what this sucker has to offer. As far as what it says in the bottle itself, it says Napar Pilsner, 4.9% alcohol by volume. Government warning stuff over here. Shelton Brothers Import on the side here. Got a little story. It says, when you played, you got tired. The tomatoes look pretty or not? What? Wait a minute. When you played, you got tired. The tomatoes looked pretty or not, but they tasted like tomato most of the time. The idea of being in a hurry didn't exist. Love didn't know about fear. It was a symbol of freedom. Rock and roll came from inside, not from an office in beer. There's still beer that's not fizzy water, and coloring all is not lost. Wow. That seems like a little bit of Google Translate going on that little thing. So if you have here, you actually have... it doesn't look like Spanish up here. It looks like a different language. I don't know if it's Portuguese or something different up top and then the English version at the bottom. So it looks a little bit of a Google Translate going on. And that's that. Label is actually, it's pretty really cool. I mean, black label, yellow coloring, little flowers there, you know. So yeah, little Pilsner. There's no date on this. You know, not that Pilsners can't suffer from time, but Shelton Brothers typically is pretty good with their turnover for their lighter beers like this. And the place where I purchased this is pretty good with their dated beers. So hopefully this one shows and proves. Okay. Give it a good pour. See what she's got. Try to generate a head on this one. Looks like there's not going to be much there. Yeah, off the bat, I'm not going to say it looks like a Pilsner. A little dirty glass mafia going on. Little bit of kind of tinge to the whitish kind of yellow head. You know, not much of a head to begin with even. I gave it a pretty rough pour there. And she's got a bright kind of orange/yellow kind of hazy kind of glow to it. If you were to, hey, what kind of beer is this from a distance? Definitely looks like a yeasty kind of beer, more of like a kind of like Belgian style saison, something like that. Definitely not a Pilsner in looks. So we'll see what she has in the nose. Yeah, it's like it's still kind of in that yeasty kind of realm. There's a little bit of soft, like fruity kind of yeasty esters in there. A little apricot, a little bit of banana. So it's definitely kind of getting in that kind of saison-y range. Definitely not a Pilsner on the nose. Maybe a little white pepper. So yeah, you know, they're going for a Pilsner here. It's not really landing like that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, if you're kind of rating stuff off style, which I do not, you might be a little bit kind of peeved, but this smells pretty damn good. So yeah, fruity esters, not much from the hops there. Maybe a little bit of generic bitterness, a little bit of kind of white pepperiness from that kind of yeast too, and sweet maltiness. So I'm going to dive right in and see what this sucker has. Cheers. Okay. You get a kind of Pilsner malt off it for sure. A little crackery, a little Pilsner malt. But again, that yeast is kind of carrying the day here. The yeast comes off very, almost like a slight tart to it. Like it's kind of like a slightly active kind of yeast, like a very, very subtle, very lazy Brett kind of sea thing going on there. Yeah, you get a little bit more of those kind of apricot-y kind of fruity yeastiness from there. A decent amount of a little bit of spiciness there. I think it's a combination of the yeast and hops there. Definitely like a spicy bittering hop, nothing much after that. The fruit is all from yeast here. And yeah, subtle kind of tartness to it. And that's pretty much it. Definitely not a Pilsner in my book. If you kind of package this and call this a bottle conditioned I don't know. A German hopped bottle conditioned Belgian table beer. I might be a little bit more in line with what it is. But what it is what it is. And it's pretty, honestly, for me, I kind of like it. I'm not going to say it's a great beer. But I'm getting a heaping amount of flavor from the yeast. And that always kind of turns me on. It's one of my favorite things in beers, yeast, when you derive a lot of flavor. And they're positive flavors. They're not negative flavors. There's a little bit of dryness to it, too, which is kind of a good thing. And a little bit of bitterness from the hop. It's just kind of disjointed. The body's a little bit thin. But then again, it's a 4% beer that's trying to be a Pilsner. So, yeah. A weird beer. Weird beer for sure. Definitely not a Pilsner. But in general, I kind of dig it. So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better Pilsners I've had as of late? No. It's not even a Pilsner. Is it one of the better table beers, Belgian-style table beers I've had as of late? I don't know if I'd even say it's one of those. But is it something fun? Yeah, it's cool to have. I don't know. I just like beers I've never had before from countries that I rarely had beers from before. Kind of see where they're growing up and see what they're doing beer-wise. So in general, I dig it. I like it. It works for me. I can definitely drink a few of these in a sitting, which I might do. Value and availability, no idea. Kind of picked it up in a mix of sixer. So, that is what it is. Never seen this brewery before, so take that for what it's worth. It's Shelton Brothers Imports, so you could see it or you might not see it. Their fingers are pretty widespread in the States as far as beers go. And just say you leave it with if you like what we like this. If you wish German Pilsner had a baby with a Belgian-style table beer. So, and it's kind of where it lands. Pilsner malt aside, it really has not much to do with the Pilsner at all, from looks to taste to everything, but that necessarily doesn't mean it's a bad beer. If you kind of like a little bit more active yeast and in your lower ABV beers, so like them to kind of be the calling card of beer, you probably dig it because definitely had that going for it, which is nice. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Let's see, social media, Massive Beers, all one word, all the social medias if you want to check me out anywhere else. And there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a not Pilsnery good beer kind of thing going on right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.